As always, thank you guys for checking out the video. If you like what you see, a like and subscribe really helps me out. It tells YouTube that I'm doing something moderately all right. But it's a big help to me and helps me bring y'all more stuff like this. So thanks for all the comments, support, engagement, and we'll catch y'all in the next video. But for now, enjoy this one. All right, daddies, everything has been done. I've been driving around with this for a while, but this is a disclaimer. If you're doing this delete on a 19 and up truck, they took the freaking dipstick out, so you cannot check your transmission fluid level without taking it to a dealer. I just took this to a mechanic, and he's like, dude, I haven't seen these yet. So it has to go to the dealer to check the fluid. I'm going to venture and say it's okay. But just a disclaimer, you cannot check your fluid without taking it to a dealership. And also you can't add any yourself because the government, I don't know. What's up, daddies? Welcome back to the underside of the Silverado. So what we're looking at is all the mud left over from Utah and Rabbit Valley. But this is a thermostat housing on the transmission. We're going to pull that out, and we got a part from Superior Transmission Parts that's going to get rid of that thermostat and make our transmission run nice and cool. We got a 13 mil and a 10 mil, and we're gonna get her done. So we're gonna be taking this Johnny right here. I don't want to get this thing all warmed up because it is right next to the exhaust. So we're gonna take this guy down to Napa, get a couple parts for this, and we should be gooched. All right, y'all, we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna take the trans lines off first, so that's a 10 mil and then a 13 with the brand new socket set. Why not? All right, so we're going for this one right here. I'm just gonna pop that off with the 10 mil. So I'm editing this video right now, and part of the install got cut off. So take note, the housing and the snap ring are the only parts that get reused. So all that stuff comes out. What you end up doing is you put the snap ring, or not the snap ring, the O-ring on this, and then that part goes into the original housing, like so, goes down in there. And then the assembly of the other part, you put the O-rings right there. The ball goes in the top there, and then the spring goes in with the small coil, and then you push it together like I did in the video. All right, Dad, so immediate reaction here. 162, we've been driving around for a while. I've been driving intentionally, just, you know, on and off the gas pretty hard. I did get up to, I think, 170, and then, you know, just started coming back down. So she's staying nice and cool. Usually this temp is around 180. So the truck is in Denver right now. It will have to drive I-70 back to where I live. But 162, I haven't taken on the highway yet, but just around town driving, it seems to be working, especially since that temp came down. It has not hit anywhere over 170. 170 has been the max. You can see 163 right there. But there's the install. There's the immediate reaction. I will drive around a little bit more here, and we'll take a gander, and I'll let you know if it goes above 170. But according to the website, it reports 20% cooler, so that would be 158. So we're hovering around that right now, and it is 70 degrees out. So it's not cold or anything, but we'll see. All right, y'all, the verdict's in. This thermostat delete is the best $44 I have spent on this truck by far. So short and sweet, if you want to end the video now, it brought my transmission temps down by about 60 degrees, which is crazy. And now for the long story. So if you follow this channel for a while, you know this truck has the 6-speed 6L80. You also know that when I take it off-road, it has a tendency to get up to 240 degrees. A lot of you say that it's my fault for using 4-low, but whatever. But I've done it in 2-wheel drive as well. It gets up to 240. We haven't taken it off-road, so I cannot attest to that. However, on the highway that I drive every day, it likes to sit around 175, 180, depending on the speed, up to 190, which is what the thermostat set to. So, highway, 185. When we did the Rabbit Valley trip, 185, 190, depending on what I was doing. Yesterday, I brought the truck from Denver up to the Aspen area where I live, and that drive is supposed to take 3 hours, and it ended up taking 6.5 due to traffic. So that required the truck going up mountain passes in snow and 4-wheel drive really slowly. Granted, it is cold outside, but I have done that before, and this truck got stuck going up to Eisenhower Tunnel, and it got up to 210 on the transmission. I have a bunch of clips that I recorded, but the absolute max temperature I saw yesterday in that 6-hour trip was 170 degrees, which was absurd. And that was climbing up to Eisenhower Tunnel. That was going 5-10 miles an hour, you know, in slow traffic. Once again, granted, it was cold outside. It was about 20 degrees out, but it stayed super cool, and that was awesome. Now, in addition to that, once we got off the steep mountain pass areas and just kind of on the roads, much like this, but still going slow, it cooled down to like 130. And it was sitting at 130, and it was totally cool. So 170 was max, like to be around 130. And then once we got around all the closed mountain passes and back onto Interstate 70, 118 degrees is what it stayed at for the remainder of the trip. So to go from temperatures in the 170, 180, 190 range to drop down to 118 on the freeway, it stayed there. It stayed at 118 for like 30 miles. So it wasn't just a, cooling down thing. It is absolutely freaking crazy, and I'm stoked to see those temps. Now, we did lose a little bit of fluid when we did the install. I'm not sure if anyone has put this specific delete on 19 and up trucks with the 6-speed. I think it also works with the 8-speed, to be honest. And I couldn't add any trans fluid, so I've been, paying a lot of attention to smell and shifts, and we're good. I mean, maybe 5-6 ounces in the grand scheme of almost 3 gallons isn't a lot. The next time it goes to the dealer, I will have them check, because it does have to be checked by the dealer. But I mean, we're totally good. I haven't had any slips, any weird things. It's totally fine. It was just the residual in the thermostat and a little bit out of the lines, maybe 6 ounces, and that's probably an overestimate. So with this specific truck, I had to read the reviews again. A lot of people were saying, 140-ish, but to see 120, it is 25 degrees out, so I don't know if people are doing this in southern states and, testing it in the summer, but one person said 120 in the winter, 140 in the summer. I had to reread to make sure that I was getting the right temps, but dang. Sorry, the wife called. Anyway, yeah, these temps are crazy. I mean, I've been driving the truck, only 15 minutes, but we haven't even breached 100 degrees yet, and it's probably not going to get past like 100 on my way home, which is awesome to see. As for the install, it was extremely simple. Just finding something to reach that trans clamp, I guess, that holds the transmission lines on was a little bit of a pain in the butt, but once I got that off, it was 10 minutes. So all in all, price point 10 out of 10. It's $44. It's really freaking cheap. It's really easy to install as long as you know how to work a wrench. It brought my temperatures down 60 degrees. I have nothing bad to say about it. And especially going on a grueling 6.5-hour trip through the mountains right after the install, I'm pretty sure that's a good torture test for it. Wasn't towing or going off-road, but if you're doing this to get cooler temperatures on the highway and whatnot, oh my God, these guys are going so freaking slow. I 100% recommend it. It is sweet.